Peace, what's up, y'all? It's your boy Anti-Simp back with another video. And it's been a minute since I dropped I think it's been a minute since I dropped my last video. So, you know, I've been thinking real deeply. I don't want to say hard, you know, I've been thinking real deeply about some things. You know, I was having conversations with my homeboy, and as we began chopping up game, we realized something, man. And this might be racial and, you know, not so racial, but I want to say that we should be proud of us. You know, we should be proud of our generation. The days of being a stepdad are dead. No more women bringing children into the world and some man who isn't the biological father stepping up and raising kids that ain't his. We are the generation that killed that. We are the generation that ended that. And I'm proud to be a part of that generation. We should be proud of us. We should be proud of our generation. Last week I said that we were the generation that ended the era of the stepdad. And we brought down the level of simping surrounding the era of being a stepdad. And some people probably didn't take it serious, but when you consider certain factors, certain statistics, like, you know, how many women are single and how many men there are that are single with no children, you can't help but think that, you know, we had a hand in that. You cannot help but think that, you know, the way that we respond to certain things, certain BS that we're no longer putting up with like the previous generations has, that we've had a hand in that. Let's be real. We should be proud because we saved generations of young men from a life of being some broad's pawn. We saved them from becoming simps. We did that without becoming their stepdads. And I've said before, you know, I have said before that, you know, protecting and providing isn't just, you know, you know, going out there and you know, earning a wage and, you know, making sure your house is safe. You know, protecting someone is a form of giving them advice, giving them warnings. As followers, you should be proud. You should be proud because as followers, you share the content of those of us who are willing to put it out there. We put our experiences out there, our observations out there, and you shared it with other men. You shared it with other young men. And I might not agree with, you know, things that other dudes have said when it came down to this subject. A lot of times you guys use the terms out of context, but the fact that you're sharing this and you're shaming other dudes for doing sucker shit, that's a good thing, man. We ended up saving the next few generations of men from women who are predators. So you should be proud. We protected generations following us. We protected generations following ours without becoming their dads, without becoming their stepdads. So we didn't need to, you know, take on somebody else's saved game. We didn't need to become the father of some man's child, some other man's biological child. We didn't need to do that because we protected these men and we protected these young kids from the lives of previous generations. We brought an end to that nonsense without doing sucker shit. You know, there are guys out there who would try to shame you into, you know, becoming a stepdad, you know, doing things that you don't have to do when we have the power of social media. Warnings and advisements are forms of protection. And what's interesting is the same type of protection and warnings that we gave, that we tried to provide women and they didn't listen, we gave it to young men who would. You know, those who didn't only for those who avoided ending up becoming victims and casualties. So we did what we were supposed to do as we were. And I don't really got anything, like if you're a guy that, you know, still ended up becoming a victim, I don't know what to really say about your situation, because, you know, let's be real. Let's be real. I don't care how you were raised. You know, if you were, you know, a guy, you know, raised by a single mother and you have these ideals or ideologies, I don't care if you were raised that way, you still have a gut feeling that you are doing something that is just not right. You know when you are pandering. You know when you're doing something simpish, and you should feel. And you should feel this gut feeling. You should have, you know, you should feel this internal. I'm doing something wrong. I'm doing something that's just not right. It's one thing to love your girl. I've talked about this in previous videos. That is not the same thing as simping. Showing your girl who is, you know, a girl that's good to you, showing your woman who is good to you the same love and energy is not the same as simping, as some of these dudes would try to imply. It's when you're doing it and it's one-sided and you're basically just all out pandering. You're all out just simping. You're basically becoming this broad's pawn or footstool. That's when it becomes simping. And you know you're doing this because of, you should have this gut reaction. You should have this internal feeling that you're doing something that's out of character. Or maybe it is part of your character, but you should have a feeling about what you're doing. Now, back to those of you who are checking out this video, I want to say pat yourselves on the back, man, because we did it, man. It took us probably about a decade, maybe a decade and a half to correct a lot of wrongs, but we did that, man. And we should be able to pat ourselves on the back. You should pat yourselves on the back because you helped drive these points home. Anyway, that's all the time that I have. That's all the time that I have for this video. If you like it, give it a thumbs up. Share it everywhere, man. Share it everywhere that you can. And I will catch you guys at the next video. Peace.